Guys, sorry I'm late, okay? I got distracted with basketball, so on Thursday nights I play, and the bastards scheduled us for 6:30 this Thursday, the only time that they schedule us for 6:30, pricks. So, yeah, but anyway, what can you do? I'm here, I'm live, and we're going to go through this all right now. So today we've got another cracker. Just excuse me while I put my aminos in and get my shit sorted. Today we've got a cracker. We are going to cover how to get stronger and leaner at the same time, because it's fucking easy. I do it. In fact, every time I go into a comp, I hit PBs. Most people are like, oh, you know, I lose so much strength coming into a comp. I'm like, well, yeah, that's because you train like a bitch or you coach your shit. You know, you should not do it. Or you're just not mentally strong enough. So yeah, you can very, very easily get stronger and leaner. I'll teach you guys how to do that very, very quickly. We're going to go on over how to gain muscle without gaining fat. Right, that's another one which really isn't that hard. I mean, Papa Shred is still somewhat shredded. You know what I mean? I've got fat ab veins up everywhere, and you know my platysma's coming out and all that. And I'm bulking hard. I mean, excuse me. This is what I got to eat while I'm talking to you guys. Plus a steak that's in here. Because I missed out on Gemma Daly's daily fuel meals. I'm pissed off. I've had a week without that. I don't know what to do with my life. Can't cook for myself, that's for sure. So yeah, how to gain muscle without gaining fat. And then a cheeky little rant on Muppet PTs. Because I don't know if you guys saw the first rant on PTs, but I mentioned a bloke named Dalton. Now Dalton's back. Dalton's back at it, and he's being a fuckbit once again. So yes, I'm going to just cover a little rant which slightly touches on Dalton. He'll remain anonymous other than Dalton because I don't call people out. But yes, I'll touch on Dalton and then other PTs around like that, okay? Now, first things first, guys, as always, if you want to keep seeing these bad boys, you've got to click like, or you've got to comment or something and show me some love. As I said, I've got terribly low self-esteem, and pretty much the way I validate my existence is through social media and likes and comments and people telling me I'm beautiful, and that's pretty much how I get by. And if you're not liking these things, then yeah, you're pretty much starving me of that, and I'm going to live a very, very poor existence because I have no inherent happiness. So yes, just kidding, I'm not an Instagram model. Anyway, I thought it was a good joke. But yes, alright, let's get on into it. Who we got here? We've got Kimmy Drew. How are you, Kimberly? Good to have you here. Benny Michael, Alex D, pleasure as always, my man. Aiden Batchelor, hope that hernia's healing up, or both those hernias are healing up, big fella. Coach Keith, Vicky Snell, how are you, legend? Alright, and also guys, as well as those topics, we're going to be going over Q&As. So if you have anything that you want to ask away, comment away, and I'm going to go through it. Okay, I'm going to spend as much time as I need with you guys tonight, because pretty much, well, I wasn't online for the last 2 days. We've been doing some massive stuff with JCF and our program. What we're doing, we're like designing a new course for everyone who trains with us to do for free, so they can get more out of the programs. And then we're designing a whole new section of it, heaps of shit that you guys really don't care about, but it's cool. Alright, so I'm very excited for that, and I've been working my ass off on it. Okie doke. So yes, anyhow, let's get on into it. Who have we got now? Anthony Drysdale, how are you, my man? Good to have you here. Jeff Brennett, all the way from Singapore. Dwayne Parsons, good to have you here as well. Okie doke. So let's get into it. How to get stronger and leaner at the same time, or how to get stronger without, you know, gaining fat. So pretty much whenever people want to get stronger, what they normally do is they jack up their calories and they simply just try to eat more and more and more and put on more and more and more mass. Now there is no doubt that putting on more mass will aid in strength gain. When you increase your weight, your bench press literally immediately goes up, okay? Literally immediately. Your squat will increase, your deadlift will increase, literally everything will just go up ever so slightly. When you put on a bit of a belly and you squat, powerlifters actually do this in order to move more, so they can actually bounce off it, or so I've been told. I'm not a powerlifter and I'm not fat, so I wouldn't know. But do you really want to get fat? I mean, when is being fat ever a good thing? I mean, I think fuck that. I want abs all the time. I mean, do you know how much easier life is when you've got abs? Yeah, fuck getting fat just to get a little bit stronger. I mean, I guess I'm saying this in light of today. I mean, today I pulled what did I pull? 180 or 200 for like 8 reps or something like that on the deadlift. Went up really, really smooth, really good. And my strength is slowly going up and up and up, even as my weight's coming down. And I overhead shoulder pressed 100 kilos. So I shoulder pressed over my body weight, and I hit 3 reps on it. So I hit 2 reps, and then Abdel fucked up the filming. That bloke, dead set. So I hit 2 reps, and he didn't film it, and I was like, well, fuck, we've got to get something for social media. And so then I went and hit another rep again, just to validate my social standing slightly more. Don't mind the plane. That's it. When we get like the wind changes, it turns us into a bloody flight path. I did not sign up for that at all. But anyway, how to get stronger and leaner. First things first, one thing that everybody gets confused about is they think that in order to get stronger, they have to weigh more. Doesn't happen, all right? It does not need to be that way. Some of my best lifts have been coming into comp. Back 2 years ago when I was doing a comp prep, I pulled 240 on a deadlift, and I squatted 170 or 175 what was I? I was 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. So I was still lifting heavy as shit the whole way into that, and getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. I mean, the comp prep after that, I rack pulled 300 kilos, was benching 155, 150, I can't remember what it was. It was a fair chunk. And then overhead pressing 100 or 110, and just bang, 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 bang. The thing is, you don't need to get fatter to do that, right? There's no inherent need to get fatter, right? All you need to do is up here. Get stronger up here. When you're in a calorie deficit, you can actually be more switched on, pretty much because your body goes into fight or flight mode. When you're in an extended period of time in a calorie deficit, you go into fight or flight. That is why when you're cutting, you get more prone to anxiety, right? So, to make use of that, start lifting heavy shit. Constantly lift heavy, 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 heavy. On top of this, start supplementing with things which stimulate your nervous system and make you more go, go, go. So dopaminergic supplements such as Theocrine. Theocrine is the bomb. That stuff is absolutely amazing, all right? Highly, highly recommend that. That's why I get a lot of my guys to take a pre-workout. The other thing you can do, supplement with BCAAs, EAAs, and aminos, okay? They are without a doubt the 3 best things to improve your recovery rate, okay? On top of that, smash a shitload of magnesium after your sessions so that you can recover, you don't get tired, you don't get tight, you don't get injured, and you sleep really, really well. On top of that, fix your training up. If you want to get stronger, then start fucking lifting heavy, all right? I saw someone in the gym the other day, and she was deadlifting, and she was lifting like, what, 40 kilos on a deadlift. And I was like, put some fucking weight on. Like, do you want to get stronger or not? And she said, oh, no, I'm just trying to focus on my strength. I'm like, 40 kilos isn't focusing your fucking strength, all right? What's going to focus on your strength when you whack 100 kilos on there and you actually have a nudge. So go at it. Don't be afraid to train hard. On top of that, increase your rest time. So rest for longer, all right? Rest for much, much longer. So increase it up to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, those sorts of things, all right? That is how long you need to rest if you want to improve your strength. On top of that too, start periodizing your training, okay? So Abdel and I were meant to periodize our training, but we're meatheads and we just love lifting to failure all the time, so we didn't. I wish I could show you an example of that, but what you need to do is pretty much each week you need to plan how much you're going to lift in the preceding weeks, okay? And make sure that you're constantly lifting more and more and more without frying your CNS, or your central nervous system, so without depleting your neurotransmitters too much, okay? That is how you get stronger while getting leaner. You focus on reducing your calories, okay? Don't do too much cardio. Just lift harder, lift fucking heavy, push some big weights. In the end of the day, literally what all bodybuilding, all powerlifting, everything comes down to is mentality. Fucking someone's dripping shit off the top. Wankers. But anyway, all it comes down to is mentality. That is literally it. If you're up here, you're a little bitch, then here you're gonna look like a little bitch as well, okay? If up here you're a fucking lion, then yes, you're gonna look like a lion, minus the fur, okay? You can't grow fur. Just to clear that up in case someone took that literally. IFYMs. But yeah, you just need to lift heavier. It's all mentality. It's all mental in the end of the day. Just go into the gym, absolutely annihilate yourself, and you will get stronger and you will get leaner, okay? Now, how to gain muscle without gaining fat. This is another thing. People also think that muscle gain and fat gain are hand in hand. They don't have to. Why? Well, look at Papa Shred. Papa Shred's growing. Okay, Papa Shred stays lean. all the time. This isn't a one-off. Okay, this isn't a one-off. Now people are going to say, "Oh, but you're on steroids." I'm like, "Yeah, classic. I've heard that one since I was 16." But the thing is, when you grow, you should not be putting on fat all the time. In fact, you should rarely be putting on fat. With my guys, I get them to have abs all year round. They constantly have abs. I mean, you look at Woodsy, you look at Clint, you look at any of our guys, okay, who are working with us, and dead set, they are always ripped and always lean. Now, how do you do it? Number one, optimize the gut microbiome. If you can optimize your gut microbiome and your gut health, you will always stay leaner than what you would if you had bad gut health and bad microbiome, okay? Period. Straight up. You burn more calories, right? You stay leaner, you're more insulin sensitive, you're less inflamed, meaning you've got a better inflammation response when you want it, aka training, okay? That is what you need to do. Optimize that, number one, and you are literally good to go. Number two is looking at beta-2 adrenergic agonists. All right, these things are absolutely amazing. So do not touch clenbuterol. But there are other ones out there which also stimulate the beta-2 adrenoceptor, and they are absolutely wicked for fat loss and muscle gain at the same time. It works really, really well. So they'll keep you pumping lean, and they're actually highly, highly anabolic. Number three, look after your hormones. If your hormones are optimal, you're going to be better. So if your testosterone's right up at the edge of the reference range, like mine always is, okay, what you need to do is, bang, keep it up there. You need to keep it up, always. When you get your blood test done, look at it. Make sure you're up 30, 35 nanomoles per litre, okay? Up around that top mark. If you're overseas, if you're in America and you're using the backwards measurements, it's 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. That's where you want to be, around that mark. Now, on top of that too, to gain muscle without gaining fat, you need to lift fucking hard. Lift really, really hard all the time. Go into your sessions, annihilate yourself, alright? Then, after you've annihilated yourself in your sessions, you rest well. You sleep. Optimize your sleep amount. Reduce your stress. Make sure the 5 stresses are all in balance. If they're all in balance, then you're going to have a good time, okay? Life is going to be good. Life is going to be super, super easy. Alright, next one. Have sex more. Alright, fuck more, fuck lots. This is Papa Shred telling you to have more sex. This is exactly what you need to do. The more sex you have, the leaner you're going to be, the happier you're going to be, the better your hormones are going to be, the better your neurotransmitters are going to be, and the better life is going to be, because sex is fantastic, okay? So do that, have much, much more sex. Get a partner if you don't have one, and then increase it. Okie doke. Now, I'm going to answer a couple of questions just quickly before I go on to ripping on some Muppet PT. So those of you who missed before, old mate Dalton, who I've ranted about before, he's raised his ugly Medusa head, and I'm ready to slice it off. And hopefully 2 more don't grow from it, although knowing his ego, they probably will. Anyway, who we got here? We got a bar, how are you, legend? Al, Bilal, Evan, big fella, Evan Barad, Petey. Al's just asked, hey champs, what are you, excuse me, what are your thoughts on coffee? How much is too much, with milk or no milk? Mate, too much coffee is probably more than 2 coffees a day. Just whenever you start getting fried. One of my mates the other day was saying, you know, she's got she's just smashed 2 coffees, and then she wondered why she had anxiety. I was like, bruh, like, why do you think? And so that's quite funny. So yeah, if it gives you anxiety, it's probably too much. I'd stick to just 1. I'll have maybe 1 to 2 espressos a week. That's it. As far as how much is too much. As far as with milk or no milk, I always just go black. Almond milk's okay. For anyone on my plan, you can have 30-50 mils of almond milk with your coffee. I really don't care. It doesn't matter that much. That's like 2 calories. Actually, you can have 30 to 50 mils of almond milk with your coffee as long as you smile, alright? Because smiling will actually burn those calories. Or if you have sex, too. And if coffee helps you get sex, then go for it. Have more. Who else we got? Andrew Smith, Elliot Lang, how are you, fella? Joe Chester, legend. Aaron Stiles. Aaron's just asked, sup Papa Shred? Looking good, mate. Killing it. On first day back today, I've had 6 days off just to rest my body. Is that a really bad thing to do, Ruz? Mate, not really. It just depends if you periodise it into the plan. So that's it. If it's tactical, then yes, it's great. If it's not, then, you know. Evans just said, yo, get back to my inbox. I'll look for your inbox, big fella. Speak soon. Alex Shepard has just asked, hey bruz, some mornings I wake up after training, I feel like I've been hit by a bus and energy feels pretty depleted generally as I come to the end of a mesocycle. Any thoughts as to why and any way to help it? Okay, mate, what you've got to do is you've got to modulate your neurotransmitter supplementation, and you've also got to look at your training volume. What you're doing is you're pretty much depleting the fuck out of your neurotransmitter levels. So yeah, you're going to have to increase maybe your tyrosine intake, a bit of inositol, a bit more 5-HTP, a bit of GABA. Adding a question onto that question is, do you feel tired but wired the next day? Answer that and I'll be able to help you a bit more. Galal just asked, what is the best time to take BCAAs? Best time to take BCAAs is probably before, during, and after your workout. Don't sip on them during the day, okay? I actually had a mate who did that as an experiment, and he actually gained a shitload of fat. As soon as he cut the BCAAs out and upped his protein intake otherwise, he started actually losing fat and being more anabolic. And that's a bloke who was on steroids, a lot of steroids at the time. Richard Cereba, big fella's just asked. Big dog, had a knee reco a few years back. I find when I overwork it, I get some fluid build up on my knee. Any thoughts on how to reduce that or get rid of it quickly when it does build up? Mate, this applies to every single injury. Anything that ever builds up with fluid, alright, is not good. The reason why the fluid's there is because the joint is not moving properly. That is the reason. Or you've got existing inflammation in the joint due to dietary fuck-ups. Pretty much what we need to do, man, is we need to look at your diet and figure out what foods are causing that, okay? Number one, and eliminate any of those foods which are causing digestive distress or anything like that. And then number two is fix up your biomechanics. Alright? I'm not sure if you're from Sydney or not, but if you're from Sydney, just go see Abdel Mohammed, the school doctor, bloke I train with. What else we got? Mickey Slop, Grappy, Alex D. He's just said, sex is the best cardio. Never been bigger and leaner than I am now. Alex, let's be honest, bro, you don't get sex. Let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. Stop talking out for the boys. Okay, I'm sure you're cool. Marty, welcome. Ryan Connor. Ryan's just asked, do I caffeine cycle? Nah, I don't caffeine cycle. I just don't have much caffeine at all because it sends me off the nut. So yeah, no, the caffeine cycle. Michael Snell's just asked, just on protein intake, what's your thoughts on protein per pound of body weight to gain lean muscle? 5 pounds and no kilos. 3 grams per kilo of body weight, man. That's a pretty solid amount. Okay. Tyrone Atkinson, how are you, legend? Hope you're well. Mitchie Riley, Jamie Cooper, long time no speak. Ryan Loveday. Ryan just said, you were discussing SARMs the other night. My mate who's a PT reckons useless unless you have a hookup in research lab that you can't get legit SARMs. What are your thoughts? Is he talking shit? I got no idea, man. I'm not a drug dealer, so I've got no idea whatsoever. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure that's wrong. There's a bloke called Jay Kurlak, who I've had a bit to do with in the past through Total Nootropics. He's got a SARM brand. He's a pretty reputable guy, from what I've known him to be, and he's selling them, so I dare say he's getting good shit. I'd be very disappointed if he wasn't. Okay? So, yeah. What else have we got? Tyrone's just asked, what are my thoughts on Milano Tan 2? Mate, it depends what you're going to use it for, okay? So there are some parts of Milano Tan 2 which are not studied, alright? And so there are no long-term studies done on it. So I can't say conclusively that there is going to be no health effects, but I've used it in the past. I used to take this stuff called Roaccutane, which makes you super sensitive to sunburn. And pretty much I was like, well, I'm going to be in the sun because I live in Australia. We've got no fucking ozone layer, you know. So I was like, well, I'm going to take Milano Tan so I get tanned as opposed to burnt and getting skin cancer. So I took it, and I tell you what, it was absolutely wicked. It got really dark. It stayed dark for a long time. I now no longer get burnt, even when I do have to take Roaccutane, which hasn't been for a long time. I also got leaner. I also had an improved sex drive, all that sort of stuff. Chris Graff, what happens when you pull your pud more than sex, big fella? Stimulate hormones the same. Graffy, you're a sad man if you've only got to pull the pud and you can't get sex. So Graffy's just asked, alright, I'll just put this in straight words. No, you're a fucking legend, Graffy, I love you, man. I always harp on about how great sex is, okay? And Graffy's just asked, can you self-prescribe sex, so sort yourself out, and does it give you the same effect on the hormones and whatnot? You know what, I don't know. It will stimulate the vagus nerve, which will calm it down, which is great for anxiety. Yes, that's fantastic. It will make you feel relieved. It will help you focus more. You just can't overdo it, because if you overdo it, it can actually then down-regulate dopamine. Okay. So yeah, no, it won't. It probably won't be just as good as sex. All right. And the other thing about sex is it's better when you got a partner you actually give a shit about, as opposed to just getting random things that you find on the street or on Tinder. So yeah. Next one, Drew Johnson. Drew said, "Hey James, can you thank Woodsy for the chat the other day? Woodsy, you legend." All right, I'll pass it on to him. Matty Franklin, did you bulk buy Phenibut? The ban came in after February 1st, yeah. I actually didn't bulk buy Phenibut because between you and me, I'm going to get a fuckload of it anyway, doesn't matter. So yeah, I can pretty much get it whenever I want. Stoked. So no, I didn't buy up over the ban. I've still got a shitload here, I've still got a shitload that I got access to, and so yeah, that's just between you and me. And the fence post. And I can also get it prescribed to my docs when I need it, because it's Schedule 4, I think it was, not Schedule 9. If it's Schedule 9, I can't really get it in, because that sucks, because that puts it up there with heroin. And I'm probably not going to be importing something that's just like heroin. I don't want to go to jail, because if I drop the soap, I'll be fucked. I wouldn't do well in jail at all, not at all. Luke Spencer, Google says you can't purchase SARMs in Australia unless it's for research purposes, lol. Luke, the research purpose would be for your 100 kilo lab rat that's at home that wants to gain muscle and strength without having any side effects. So there's your research purposes. Okie doke. Muppet PTs. Muppet PTs. Let's have a little rant, shall we? Alright, now it's getting a bit dark. Move this over there. How's that lighting? Oh, much better. That's great on that side of the face. Okay, ranting on Muppet PTs. So guys, as you know, PTs have really fucking big egos. Now, there's a bloke called Dalton who I've referenced before, and he's raised his ugly Medusa head, and I'm about to chop it off, right? Absolutely slice it. Now the funny thing about Dalton is Dalton has never done a fucking thing in his life that is worthwhile or credible or what you would consider an achievement. Dalton is the kid at school would have cleaned up participation awards because his parents winched to the principal. Because Dalton, not only was he shit at sport, but he also didn't even have a crack because he was a shit bloke. Okay, that's the type of person he is. He got participation awards after his parents, winced at the principal and probably gave him a bit of money. All right, that's summing up Dalton. Now, the issue I have with PTs like Dalton is that Dalton is pretty much. Dalton has pretty much got literally zero experience and zero education outside of what has been fed to him. So he's got nothing to go on. And this is really like a very, very common thing amongst the industry, okay? A lot of PTs think that because they've got a bit on social media, because they run 20 clients a week or 30 clients a week, because they've been training for 2 years, that they know a bit. And I kind of sit back and I look at these guys and they start putting out this information and calling people out, specifically calling people out, saying, no, you're wrong, right? No, you can't do this, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. My way is right, it's my way or the highway, and that's it, you're wrong. And the issue with that is that when you take an approach like that, that you are actually dumb, all right? So if you've got no ability to listen to somebody else, you're actually dumb. And now to add on to this as well, these people like to reference science and studies. Now the thing with science and studies is that when you're taught at university, which I did, I went to fucking university for 4 years, okay? I had some of the best professors in the world, because the university I was at is very cutting edge, neurotransmitters and the gut microbiome. And when they teach you at university, which Dalton hasn't had the pleasure of experiencing, they teach you that when you get a scientific study, you need to scrutinise it. You can't take it as gospel, and you need to look at all the other bodies of work. And so what people like Dalton do and these other PTs is they pick out one study which mildly supports their argument, and they read through it, okay, and they pick out the few words which go along with what they're saying, and then they say that their idea is right and nothing else. Now the issue with this is that number one, Dalton can't read a fucking study. Dalton tried to claim that the gut microbiome has no effect on fat loss whatsoever. So I kind of read the study and had a look through it, and found that the study actually didn't conclude that whatsoever. So number one, these fucking blokes don't even know how to read a scientific study. So unless someone's got a degree, I'd probably generally, start erring on the side of caution and when listening to the studies which they cite. Okay? The next thing is that Dalton's never done a fucking thing in his life, okay? He hasn't competed, alright? He's never competed in bodybuilding, yet he's trying to talk about optimal body composition. So he's never achieved optimal body composition, but he thinks he's an expert on it. He's never coached anybody noteworthy, so he's never coached an athlete who has achieved optimal body composition, the thing which he is claiming to be an expert on. He has never done any formal training in that area either. So pretty much Dalton's got no experience in doing it himself, no experience in doing it for somebody else, and then he's never learnt about it properly using some sort of formal education. Now, with those three things, would you really fucking believe somebody who's put their ideas out there? Well, no, you wouldn't. And that's the sad thing, is that these people put themselves out there as being gurus when they've got no fucking idea whatsoever. And Daniel Leonard's just said, mate, you've nailed half the PTs around my parts. It is so fucking common. Dalton isn't the only one. Yes, Dalton's a wanker, but he's not the only wanker in the whole entire world, okay? There are plenty of them. These low-level, uneducated, stubborn, unearned, they've got unearned arrogance, okay? I'll explain the concept of unearned arrogance in a second. But these PTs are endemic. They are running around, and pretty much what we've got to do is we've got to stop giving them the light of day. Shut them up, okay? Just nip it in the bud, all right? So here's their stem. We're going to come in, we're going to chop them off about here, right before the head gets the chance to speak, all right? We've just got to chop them off right there and stop allowing these people to push up their absolute bullshit, okay? I feel I've got a right to say a few things and brag on these people because I've been training for fucking 10 years, all right? I got a pro card when I was fucking 20 years old. These muppets are like have been training for however long, they still can't get one because they don't have a work ethic nor the knowledge to do so, all right? I've trained elite athletes, I've trained professional rugby players, I've trained college athletes over in the US, I've trained international bodybuilders, international bikini competitors, I've trained people over in the doing the NPC over in the US at the junior nationals and stuff like that. And I've trained a lot of people, so I feel that I kind of do have the right to do this. So before you go shut me down, I've actually, paid my dues, whereas these fucking muppets don't have it. And they've got what I call unearned arrogance. I touched on it just before. Guys, you're going to see a lot of gurus are really arrogant. I bet a lot of you think that I'm an arrogant, and a lot of people are very surprised when they meet me and they're like, wow, James, you're not a fuckwit. I'm like, some of the time I'm not a fuckwit, most of the time I am, but some of the time I'm actually, a somewhat nice person. And the thing with that, with arrogance, when you are, in a position where you've worked really, really hard for it, is it's actually, to us, it's more like confidence. You're very, very confident in what you do because you've been doing it for so long, okay? And so a lot of these gurus you come across are very, very highly arrogant. So people like your Charles Poliquin's really, really arrogant because he's fucking earned it, all right? That guy worked his ass off. He's worked, the equivalent of two people's hours for 20 years. You look at any of those top level guys, they can be very, very arrogant, and that's the thing. When they're arrogant, they've actually earned that. They've actually got to the top. If you meet Usain Bolt, he will tell you straight up he is faster than you in any race. Okay, he will tell you straight up that he is the fastest man alive. Some will call that arrogant. I would also call it correct. Now then, you've got people, right? People like this Dalton bloke who's done nothing, okay, yet has got that same confidence that he's absolutely right and absolutely certain. Now, does that fit? Well, no, it fucking doesn't fit whatsoever, okay? It does not fit at all. And why doesn't it fit? Because he's never fucking done anything, okay? So guys, what I'm trying to say out of that is that people who have got unearned arrogance are absolute fuckwits. People who are up the top and have got arrogance, well, you can understand it because they literally are the best in their field and they actually know their shit, so they are going to come across as really, really cocky, okay? Anyway, now that I got off that rant, and sliced Dalton's head off and chopped it into little bits until it rears up again. He's going to come up with another study. I hope he fucking sees this. I'd love him to see this so he can come up with another study, spurt two more little ugly, useless heads, and put out more bullshit, and then get shut down again when I come. But yeah. Anyway. PTs are fuckwits, that's what I'm pretty much getting at. Most PTs are fuckwits, most PTs are dumb. Don't listen to them all. Pick who you're going to listen to. If you don't want to listen to me, that's fine. It doesn't really bother me. But, I'll be a little bit hurt on the inside. Okay? on that note, guys, shoot through any questions that you got. I'm going to shuffle through a few that we've got in the shred community right now, and then I'm going to go back and answer all your ones. Okay, what we got? I hope you're all having a wicked week, by the way. I am. Fuck, life is great. How good is life? Absolute bee's knees. Okie doke. Now, Zach Elvis is just us, Big Zach. This fella's a great bloke. He said, hi guys, heavyweight versus lightweight for muscle growth. That depends. For a natural lifter, you always want to lift relatively heavy, assuming that you've got good form. So one of the big challenges for us is to pick exercises and rep ranges and rep schemes for our clients who, to do to their ability. So pretty much what you need to do is optimally, if you've got awesome form, if you've got great experience within the gym, right, and you're natural and you want to grow, lift heavy. Whenever you get stronger, you literally get bigger when you're natural, okay? So stick to the 3 to 8 rep range in general. You've also got to periodize and change up, but that's the most general rule that I can give you, okay? Don't come back after you've seen this and then when you're on one of my plans say, oh James, I'm not on the less than 8 reps. I'm like, there's a reason why you're not on that, okay? As for fat loss, okay, you don't need to do high reps for fat loss. Heaps of people say, oh, I don't get why you would, lift heavy when you're trying to lose fat because you just want to burn more calories. It's like, no, it's not quite like that at all. In fact, when I looked my best in the lead up to a comp prep, I was lifting really fucking heavy all the time. When I looked my worst, I was increasing my reps and they gassed me out and they fucked my brain, my neurotransmitters. Okie doke. Now, so people have been asking about the Phenibut band. For those of you who do not know, Phenibut is the main ingredient in all the sleep supplements. It is a fucking wonder drug. It's absolutely amazing. It had the best potential for being an antidepressant and an anxiolytic. And pretty much our Therapeutic Goods Administration have gone and banned it because they're fuckwits. Okay, no other reason than they're fuckwits. They don't know how to do their jobs properly. And so yeah, Phenibut is banned. It was banned on today. Alright, so Phenibut's all gone. Pretty much what I'd do if I were you is, if you know anywhere which has got excess stock of supplements, like all the sleep supplements, go buy it up right away, buy it up hard, get shitloads into you and stock right on up. Okay, Galals has asked how to get good gut health, any supplements. Step number 1, don't eat like a dickhead, alright? You want to get better, stop eating like a dickhead. Jay Elliott's just asked, best time to take betaine HCl, before or after a meal? Before or after a meal, look, it doesn't really matter, man. The main thing is you just want to increase the stomach acid throughout the day, okay? I normally pair them with meals because it's easier, simply said. What would you say an upper limit per meal would be? Upper limit per meal, look man, you can pump that stuff till the cows come home. You don't want to have too much though because it can have negative effects in the digestive system. What you want to do is you want to have an optimal level of all supplements. You never want to take too many, you never want to take too little. You want to get it just right. And you want to use supplements to supplement your body's natural production, okay? So I recommend really a max of 500 milligrams of meal, that's 5 times a day, in someone who's really, really bad, okay? If someone's got symptoms of low stomach acid, jack it right up, okay? And it's great. If someone doesn't, then minimize it. Don't have too much. Stick to like a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and maybe 500 milligrams once a day. Make sure you always take with gentian bitters. Jay's also just said, I've had 10 caps with 1 meal and still didn't feel any burning or discomfort. You won't feel burning or discomfort, but you will get slower fat loss and slower gains because it actually changes your microbiome and then actually alters the way which you can lose fat. Kimberly Drews just asked, thoughts on Poliquin subs? They're all the best. Honestly, they're the highest quality supplements you can get, but they're fucking overpriced. I don't bother. I just get Now Foods on iHerb because it's super, super cheap. Kimberly, if you just train with us, we'll sort you out easy. Chris Graff, Jim, any substitutes for Phenibut? Apologies in advance if you've already touched on it. I haven't touched on it, Graffy. That's why you're a legend because I should have touched on it. Substitutes for Phenibut, there are none at the moment until we find something. Lavender and lavender oil is great. So the essential oils are really good. I'm actually getting into them. One of our new guys who's coming on board, Andy Simpson, is working with us. He's going to do a fair bit around essential oils. So yeah. Trying to think of other ones. There's another one called Picamelon. I'm not sure if that's scheduled yet, but that's great for during the day because it doesn't decrease your cognitive function. GABA's okay, 5-HTP is okay, and Inositol's okay, but nothing will ever be Phenibut at this stage until some wizard, brings it out. Liam Reinberger says, is it true that James Van Elliott was sub 7% body fat in 2014? Oh, I'd say it was. There wasn't much of him, mate. 7% body fat doesn't count on skinny blokes. No offense, James. Hope you're well, mate. Kevin Bailey's just asked, hey guys, just after some of your tips on recovering from leg day. After a massive leg day, it takes me 3 to 4 days to fully get over muscle soreness. Right? The easiest way to recover from leg day is to optimize your nutrition, to improve your BCAA, EA, electrolyte intake, take the Subito supplements, Amino Supreme, it's fucking what I use, and then on top of that to recover smart, right? So if your nutrition's good, you'll heal faster. When your gut's good, you'll heal faster because the inflammatory response is much, much better. Okay, so yeah, that's the easiest way to go about it. Alrighty. Guys, 2 minutes left and then I'm going to cook off. I'm just going to, actually, I'm going to smash a few more jelly babies and then drink this shake and then I'm going to jump off. If you want to ask anything, ask away because I'm getting cooked now and I still got to work. Okay? Fire away. Oh, crap. Fuck. If you're not on these, honestly, you're missing out on life. These things are legit the bee's knees. Oh my god. They went out so well. Rightio. On that note, guys, I'm going to leave you. Buenas noches. Enjoy your night. And I will see you tomorrow at 6:30. Take it easy, guys. Bye.